And in local news, showing naked ass in the great state of Texas, it's your boy Justice.
And it's your boy Saint.
Despite all the tariffs and the inflation, hell, even famine in certain places, Commanding General YAHANNA has done it again.
The 8th annual South Texas Cookout is coming back to Houston, October 30th to November 2nd. Stay tuned for more details. Hey, and it's free.
One Westworld.
Right. Everything is lawful. Westworld. The pressure on. I remember bringing nothing home. Make it little just to make it known. Steady, ready, better watch your tone. When I was 5'7", I was breaking. I had a 5'7", now I want the chrome. 9/11, I was in my zone. Lose the argument or lose your dome. Keep cool, ain't no running up. How damn, now I'm coming up. They coming to kiss me, you dumb or what? You drawing, you done enough. They told me don't rush it, just wait my time. Paying attention, I see the signs. Coming right to me like Amazon. No time for distractions, I'm on the grind. Little shorty is sick and she knows she fine. Got a couple of so never mind. They throwing the shade cause they know I shine. Reason I'm going in overtime. You stuck in your ways, you keep fantasizing. I just go get it, don't think about it. Don't make it an issue, it ain't a problem. Not too much talking, just organizing. One Westworld, no way around it. Heavy, so you know I'm grounded. Too sturdy, I'm well rounded. Tunnel vision, I don't see a challenge. Get admitted, I'm killing it. Case closed, I don't need a gavel. Know you hate it, don't even matter. New page, still the same time.
People might, but just never forget that I do not. Always have that fresh in your mind. That I feel absolutely nothing for your pain and your problem. Because I know that all of your pain and problems are a test to make you stronger.
I live in a world where we coincide. If you're not ready, then stay inside. You drowning away, you gonna ride. You stick to the end, you get glorified.
Seeing if you're gonna step up in this, you're gonna run.
You stick to the end, you get glorified. Let's make it official, I'm one of them. One of the greatest is no exempt. It took me a minute to figure it out. I was struggling, and it made a man. I shuffled the deck and I played my hand. Just give me a reason to put them on you. Didn't believe that I had me a vision. Should I believe that you niggas loyal? We giving up game, they fumbling plays. I'm tired of talking, I'm racked out. Before that we started, they tapped out. I jumped in my duffel and blacked out. What you witnessing is elevation. Glory road to my destination. The haters is a celebration, and I put that on my reputation. When the fall, this a demonstration. You're sick and I know they hate it. One Westworld every season. Hot boy, this dedication. I'm giving game, I don't need favors. Go against it, you won't see the danger. You ain't family, you a damn stranger. I'll beat your ass, I don't need a baby. I don't got time for excuses. I'm plotting on making a killer. I'm getting the feeling, they know that I'm coming, I'm running. Let's get to the business. I was still playing my post, taking the rim like diesel. Don't run with too many people. I don't feel none of us equal. None of us equal.
And there are some brothers and sisters that know that so much, they would never leave. They would never abandon you. Since you have to stay alive here, they'll stay alive with you.
I live in a world where we coincide. If you're not ready, then stay inside. You drowning away, you gonna ride. You stick to the end, you get glorified. You stick to the end, you get glorified.
All right. Clap it up, clap it up, clap it up. All right, it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here little, there little, using external references to back up and support internally what is inside of the Bible. All right, so we are finishing up our visual review of the different type of demonic possessions, right? So we've gone over. Let me pull up my notes. All right, so the different type of demonic possessions, it's 6 different types that we've gone over, right? So we've done outright demonic possession. We've done physical pain. We've done diabolical or demonic oppression, diabolical or demonic infestation, diabolical or demonic subjugation, and then diabolical or demonic obsession, right? So the last class, we showed visual examples of an outright demonic possession and what it actually is, right? Nephew, you want to, from what you saw last class, you want to give them a quick synopsis of not only what a demonic possession is, but from the examples that we showed in class, what are some of the physical attributes that we show what a demonic possession is? Is it on? Is the mic on? There you go.
Examples.
Try and use the other mic. Maybe that one got a short end.
Mic check.
There we go.
From last week's class, an example could be is the video you showed the brother that was like kind of stuck, like his body was angled in a very odd position.
Oh, so like you talking about when he was like contorted and stuff?
Kind of, sir.
Right? Okay, but okay, clearly something was wrong with the brother, right? But what about that situation lets you know that that brother was possessed by a demon? I mean, clearly, I mean, you, but what from the attributes that you know off the top of your head, what what made you realize that that was not normal?
Well, at the angle that his body was at, that's not something we can do on our own. It's not something that we can willingly do.
Right. So basically, it was a sudden personality change. You know what I'm saying? And physical attribute change. Right. What are some of the other things that you saw that were symbolic of a demonic possession that we showed in class last week?
It was the video you showed of, I think it was East Indian, the dude that went to the dangerous hoods in America, and he was talking to the brothers out there.
No. That wasn't demonic possession. Now I'm talking about like full on possession. Remember, the attributes are speaking weird unknown languages, abnormal strength, or abnormal behavior. What did you see? I showed a video that showed abnormal strength. Do you remember what it was?
It was a brother lifting like a car engine.
Yeah, a brother was standing on top of the car and lifted up a whole engine block out of the vehicle with his bare hands. Now you know, and he wasn't no swole dude, was he?
Wow, sir.
Nah, he was skinny as hell. You know what I'm saying? And he lifted a engine block out of the hood of a vehicle. All right. Other different. So we went over physical pain. That was kind of shown with the outright demonic possession. Now the diabolical oppression. That's what you was just about to go into with the East Indian dude. Go ahead.
So this East Indian dude goes around to different types of hoods in America to like interview the people to see or to get like a full understanding of the condition of the people that are living there.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a bunch of brothers talking about how like all the gang violence has plagued the communities.
Right.
And it was one dude talking about how, you know, your mom could die, you shoot someone else's mom.
Right.
And his face was like he didn't have any remorse. Like he's like a cold-blooded killer.
Bro, I mean, you can see it in his eyes. I mean, I'm talking about like the first time that I watched that, you know, I was watching that series. You know what I'm saying? I had to catch myself. I went down in a rabbit hole of watching that series, like the deadliest hoods across America, like city wise. You know what I'm saying? And when it got to Alabama, it was on dude. Like you could just see it, his countenance, his demeanor, his eyes. Like it was a demon, bro. You can literally see death on there, bro. That boy said, I mean, shit, mamas died, daddies died, aunties died, grandma died, everybody died. Death is nothing. You know what I'm saying? And what pushed that brother to that brink and to that point is oppression. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes people kill one another? You understand? It isn't just because, I don't like you, but it's because you're stacked on top of each other in an impoverished situation, and all of y'all just trying to make ends meet. And some of y'all are so desperate to make ends meet that if you see somebody get a little bit more of a scrap than you'll have, you'll go and take that food off of their table so you can have extra food on your table. You know what I'm saying? So you rob him, he find out, he come back and rob you, but you're not gonna let him rob you for the stuff that you robbed him for. So you gonna unalive him, and then his family find out that you unalived him. Then his cousin's gonna come back and unalive you or unalive your cousin, one of your family members. Then it turns into a family feud, two families against each other. Then it turns into a neighborhood against each other, you know what I'm saying, on a block against each other, then two sides of town against each other, and then we just in all out war against each other. We Bloods and Crips, we GDs and Vice Lords, you know what I'm saying? We MS 13, you know what I'm saying, and the Mexican cartel. You know what I'm saying? That's how this escalates, and it all escalates because of oppression, right? Okay, and then the last one that we went into before we ended class last week was demonic and diabolical infestation. Okay, give me a couple examples that you saw of that, nephew.
It was an Edomite woman. Mm-hmm. She was living in this. I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest. But what she was living in was so bad that the city had to come in and say, if you don't clean up, we're gonna evict you.
Right. But describe the conditions of a house though.
You couldn't even see the floor. It was just like when she was walking around, she was constantly stepping on a bunch of trash and a bunch of just garbage.
What the brother is describing is what's known as a hoarder. And when I tell you this woman's house was so disgusting, I'm talking about she had dishes in there. It was just deplorable. Her bathtub was filled with stuff and water, so it was like mildew. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just a cesspool of an environment to the point to where, and she owned the house. The city said if she didn't come and clean up, that they were going to enact eminent domain and seize her house from her because it was such a biohazard to the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? So another way that you can tell someone has a demon on them is if they don't keep a clean house. You know what I'm saying? If their house isn't clean, like if you come in, that the walls are freaking beige because of the amount of cigarette smoke that they are literally chain smoking back to back. Like when you walk in, it ain't even a lit cigarette in there, and you choking from the stench of smoke in that house. There's a demon there. If you walking in there and it's dishes piled up in the sink and it has like a stench or an odor of trash or filthiness, there's a demon there. You know what I'm saying? Like I gave the example of, for some of you brothers, when you go over to a sister's crib, Some of y'all, you know, you need to go straight to the bathroom, man. Check out that medicine closet, pull back that bathroom curtain, look at that tub, because I guarantee you, you know, I exposed the secret of the sisters, you know, that I don't think too many brothers knew, you know what I'm saying? Because when they come to y'all house, they definitely doing it. You know what I'm saying? They rummaging through your medicine cabinet, you know, researching the type of pills you got in there, make sure they know STDs and nothing that you been trying to get away with, get rid of. You know, they looking, see if your bed made, they looking under your bed, they looking in your closet. Because 9 times out of 10, your bathroom is in the room where your bed is. You know what I'm saying? So they rummaging through your cabinets. You know what I'm saying? So I behoove you to do the same thing, so you know what you're dealing with, and to see if this person has a demon. A demon is always going to show up in filth and clutter. You know, that's why they have the old saying, what is it? Cleanliness is next to godliness. You know, if you got a filthy room, if you grew up, you was a filthy child, you had a filthy room, guess what? You're going to have a filthy apartment. And guess what's going to end up happening after that? You get a house, you're going to have a filthy house. You know what I'm saying? Because there's something in you that isn't righteous. Because nobody in their right mind wants to sit in filth. Right? Okay. Give me some other demonic infestations that we witness visually. The thing about the plagues of Egypt. You don't remember? Okay, do you remember when I showed the actual physical example in today's time of the plague during the time of Moses, when the Lord turned the water to blood?
Okay.
All right, what was that called?
It's called red tide.
It's called what?
Red tide.
It's called what?
Red tide.
That's right. So another form. So there are different types of demonic and diabolical infestation, right? There's one that deals with an actual house of a vessel, right? Whether that vessel or house is you or your physical home, and it's showing up in clutter, or it's a physical manifestation of a critter, vermin, or pest infestation in your house. So last class, I did the correlation of the plagues of Egypt, the infestations that the demonic infestations that the Lord allowed to flow through Egypt. I showed real world examples of that today, right? So one of the ones that nephew was talking about is red tide. That is the actual plague or curse that the Lord did that caused the water to turn to blood. And nephew, was that water bloody red?
And
what else happened because of that water was bloody red? What else happened in that water?
Because of all the dead fish.
It caused the what?
It caused a bunch of fish to die.
Right, just like in the book of Exodus, it said that he would cause the water to turn to blood, and everything that is in the river would be unalive. So all the fish and everything, all the marine life washed up on the banks, and it reeked and it smelled of death. Is that not exactly how those news broadcasters expressed how it smelled out there? 100%, right? Another one that I showed the plague of the locust, how the locust was tearing through North Africa, the same thing that it did in the time of Moses. I showed that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wiped out all of the crops, you know, and because of all of the dead fish, you know what comes from all of these dead animals? Flies, right? That's another infestation that I showed last week. Infestation of flies, right? These things are real and they're happening now. Like, this isn't you know, some fairy tale that you read in the book. Every plague that Moses did in Egypt, I literally showed an example of it happening right now. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is real. Even if you don't believe these curses are real or not, the Lord is not a man that he should lie. And if you don't keep the law, if you don't hearken diligently, observe and do all the commandments of the Lord commands you these days, that all of those curses, as it says in Deuteronomy 28 and 15, will overtake you. And these in as many ways for it to happen. It's from 15 to 68 is all different ways for demons to possess you and destroy your life. You know what I'm saying? So today, the examples that we're going to show, we're going to talk about, we're going to show examples, and they're going to be kind of mixed in because these two kind of go hand in hand, of demonic and diabolical subjugation and demonic and diabolical obsession. All right. So first, nephew, I'm going to ask, what is the definition of demonic or diabolical subjugation to the best of your understanding?
Demonic or diabolical subjugation is like when you are subject to the demon.
Well, you can't use a word to define a word.
It's like the demon rules over you in a sense.
Okay, so how is the demon able to rule over you? And anybody, if you're online, feel free to chime in. If you have any questions, type them in the chat. I'll get to them amicably. All right. So how is the demon able to bring you to heal? How does this happen?
Well, at that point, you would be not far gone in a sense, but to the point where you rely on the demon to, I guess.
But in order for you to become a subject of something, what do you have to first do in order to become a subject to anything? I'll give you an example, right? So if let's see, somebody says by fighting it, that's not exactly what I'm asking, sis. I'm asking how do you become subjugated to the demon? Because the two things that we're going to go over today, and I'm going to give you visual examples of, are demonic and diabolical subjugation and demonic and diabolical obsession, right? So in order for you to be subjugated by something or obsessed by something, something has to take place in order for you to be subjugated under. I'll give you a perfect example, right? If you have a job, how do you get a job?
You apply for one.
You what?
You apply for it.
You what?
You apply for it.
You have to apply for the job, right? Look, sis put the nail on the head. She says you have to take interest in it. You know what I'm saying? That goes back to what was the one? That goes back to to the allures, the class that I broke down, talking about the snares and entrap. How do you become snared and trapped by a demon? Your curiosity, right? That's one, right? But nephew, you hit the nail on the head. How do you get a job?
You apply for it.
You apply for it, right? Okay. You seek it out, right? Nobody asks you to take on this job. You ask for this job, right? Okay. So sis said to invest in, let's see some other answers. By giving into emotion and desire, 100% becoming emotionally compromised. That's definitely one way. Sis says you give in to the sin. Definitely, right? So it's just the best example is just like, you know, the current movie that everybody didn't watch, the movie Sinners, right? In order for the vampire to be able to take hold of your vessel and to turn you, you have to first what? You have to invite it in, right? Okay, so in order for you to become subjugated unto whatever this demon is in your life, no matter if it's pornography, no matter if it's you know, you being a drunk, alcoholism, drug addiction, you know what I'm saying, you being a whore or a monger of whores, right, which is a pimp, you know what I'm saying, you addicted to mukbanging. You know, for those that don't know what mukbanging, that's the new craze, you understand, where you just a glutton on camera. You just eating big trays and troughs of food, and you're not eating for the purpose of nourishment. You're eating for the purpose of show, right? You are inviting these things into your life, right? And once you invite these things into your life, you don't get to dictate how they interact and become interwoven in your life. You know what I'm saying? And it'll get to the point to where they will literally take control, right? Let's see. We got another answer on here. I.S.U.P.K says, giving into your flesh, 100%, sis. All right. So before I start giving you visual examples, let's get the biblical definition, right? Nephew, give me 1 Timothy in the New Testament. Give me 1 Timothy chapter 4, and we're gonna start at verse 1.
This is the book of 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1. Mm-hmm. Now the Spirit speaketh expressly that in the latter times some shall depart from the faith, giving heed to seducing spirits.
Giving heed to what?
Seducing spirits.
Giving heed to what?
Seducing spirits.
You understand? So, just like what's this said? What's this said? It was sis Shapara, right? The only way that you can take heed to seducing spirits, you have to take an interest in it, right? The scripture says that no man is tempted above what is common to man. You understand? You're not tempted by something that's a new thing under the sun. The Ecclesiastes says that there is nothing new under the sun. It is just repackaged and remixed and represented to you as a new thing, but it's something that's very old, right? You can only show pornography so many different ways, right? You can only make so many different spirits. When I say spirits, I'm talking about alcohol, right? Alcohol is alcohol. They come out with all these different flavors. It's still a gin. It's still a cognac. You understand? It's still a tequila. It's still a vodka. You understand? It's still a whiskey. It's still a scotch, right? It's still a wine. It's still a champagne. It's still a cava. You understand? No matter what the name says on the bottle, it is what it is and what it is. They may switch out the labels and present it as something new, but it's still coming from the Champagne province of France. So it's still champagne. You know what I'm saying? It's still Pinot Grigio grapes. So no matter what the label says, no matter what valley or province that it comes from, these grapes are still Pinot Grigio. They can only remix it and repackage it so many different ways. So you have to pay a difference to the different types of spirits: lust, jealousy, give me another one, wrath, gluttony. You know what I'm saying? These things can only be repackaged so many different ways. It's the same thing over and over again. I remember I said when we were going over this, all the things that go viral on social media have to do with one of the so-called 7 deadly sins. As a matter of fact, I'm just gonna list them for you real quick. Let's see, images, deadly sins. All right, so all the sins. So you got pride, greed, laziness, which is slothfulness, wrath, gluttony, envy, and lust. Right. So all of the sins that are in the 613 commandments, they all come back to one of those 7 things. All the things that go viral on social media go back to one of those 7 things. Everything that they push to you in advertisement is tied to one of those 7 things, right? Sex sales, food sales, laziness sales. You know what I'm saying? It went from being able to have a nice cushion job to having a cushion job working at home. You know what I'm saying? So everything that they present to you, you understand, is to get you to sin. Right? Okay? Keep reading, nephew.
And doctrines of devils.
And doctrines of what?
Of devils.
And doctrines of what?
Of devils.
Uh-huh.
Verse 2. Speaking lies in hypocrisy, having their conscience seared with a hot iron.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 3. Forbidding to marry, and commanding to abstain from meats.
You understand? Keep reading.
Which God hath created to be received with thanksgiving of them, which believe and know the truth. Verse 4. For every creature of God is good, and nothing to be refused.
Okay, that's it on that one. And then give me one more precept, and then we're gonna hop into them. Let's see. Which one I want? Give me Matthew 24 and 24. Yeah, give me Matthew 24 and 24.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 24.
Mm-hmm.
For there shall arise false Christs and false prophets, and shall shew great signs and wonders.
All right. So, what makes you subjugated to a demon, right, is seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. Right? You weren't born an alcoholic, but because you were in such a rhythm, whenever your daddy or your mama had a cup, they would let you sip out of their cup. And then one day they had a cup on the counter, and they was, it was a family function going on. You was like, well, that's my mama cup. I'm gonna drink out my mama cup. You go get the cup. You know what I'm saying? You thinking it's Pepsi or Coke. You understand? But no, it's cognac. It's Hennessy. You know what I'm saying? You take a big gulp of it like it's Coke, and it's like you drinking liquid fire. You understand? And then you're feeling all types of weird. Now you have a taste for something because of a seducing spirit, right? That seducing spirit, you understand, was you sipping out of your mama and daddy cup. Now you got a taste for something you got no business doing. You know what I'm saying? Or like your parents, and this is why I tell parents all the time that the demons come in your household through you. The demons get on your children through you. Let me show you how, right? All of us, majority of us grew up in the world, excluding Malaki. You know what I'm saying? Malaki, for the most part, grew up from a child into the truth. That's my nephew back there, right? His father is preaching officer Malakwa, preaching officer 5,000 Malakwa, the awesome brother in this truth. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, the rest of us, we grew up in the world, right? And your parents always told you to what? Stay out my closet. right? Now, you tell a kid to stay out my closet, Malaki, what the kid gonna do?
Go in the closet anyway.
He gonna do what?
Go in the closet anyway.
He gonna go in the goddamn closet anyway. You know what I'm saying? And because they were enticed, like, well, mom and dad, they let me go everywhere else in the house. Why they don't want me to go in their closet? What's in the closet? You know what I'm saying? They're enticed by a seducing spirit. And when they open that closet, they see some DVDs or some tapes. Well, all the DVDs and tapes is normally over here on this rack. You know, I know I'm speaking my age, everything is streaming now, but I'm just talking about back in my day, right? And you like, well, what's this tape? Or what's this DVD? You know, you take it out the closet, you go in there, you pop it into the VHS player or the DVD player, and then boom, you see a man and a woman in a way that you shouldn't see a man and a woman at 5 years old. You are exposed to sexual deviancy, you understand, and pornography at 5 years old because of a seducing spirit. You understand? That's why men, especially, if you not on point, your whole household will fall by the wayside. You know what I'm saying? Your child can fall short, the Lord will just deal with them. Your wife will fall short, the Lord will just deal with them. But if you as a man, you fall short, the Lord will judge your whole household. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be careful of what spirits you bring into your household. You know what I'm saying? My wife, she has this doormat. I love this doormat. You know what I'm saying? It's at our door. You know what I'm saying? The doormat on the door, it says, check your energy at the door. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant reminder. When I cross that threshold, whatever was going on out here in the world, I'm not bringing that in my house. You know what I'm saying? Because those things will put a spirit on you that you'll take into your house, that you put on your wife, and you'll put on your children. You know what I'm saying? Like, you had a hard day, you know what I'm saying? Your boss being a dick to you, you know what I'm saying? And you come in, your wife say, hey, baby, how you doing? You're like, man, leave me alone. And she's like, dang, I was just speaking to you. Like, what's your problem? See how quick that spirit jumped from you on to your wife? And then the kids come in there, mama, I'm hungry. Hey, get away from me right now. I don't want to deal with that. Now that spirit then jumped on to the kids, because the kids is just being kids. It didn't transfer from your boss to you, to your wife, to your kids, and then your kids internalize that, and then they go to daycare, and they take that with them to daycare or to school, and they act out or act up in school, and then that demon transfers to whoever they acting up with in school, and the cycle just continues and continues and continues. That's the reason why we're having this class, so you can know how to identify the demon, you know what I'm saying, and not only identify the demon in someone else, but also be able to identify the demon trying to take root in you, so you can know how, you can know what weapons and tools you have to fight, and how to exercise and defeat the demon 100%. Right? Okay. Now, nephew, what is demonic or diabolical obsession? Because we're gonna do both of these at the same time.
It's being or having a overwhelming desire to commit sin.
Having an overwhelming desire to commit sin. I'll accept that. So it's when a person has a constant, overwhelming, irrational thoughts making them act in a perverse manner, which can lead to unaliving, I'll just say unaliving. I can't say the other word; it'll get clipped, right? Okay, so all the visual examples that we're going to show today, right, are going to be examples of demonic or diabolical subjugation and oppression. All right. So we're going to go to this first one. Let's see, what's the first one I got, nephew? All right. So the first one is something that didn't recently happen, right? Okay. So let's find out. So what? One of the things that you can become subjugated under is lust, right? Okay. So let me see where is it? Bam. Here we go. All right. So the one we're going to talk about right now is the Shannon Sharpe situation. All right, so let's get to it.
You don't need no 26-year-old girl. You don't need no 26-year-old girl.
Come on. They talk to us. How this dating thing? Because it's Mo is different now than when you and I.
It's different, baby. I'm grateful I'm not 56 and trying.
But you tried to say what you tried to say. Mo,
I'm looking right at you.
I know you looking at me.
I ain't backing down. You better take your old ass and get somebody to love you.
Damn, Mo.
Now I'm looking right at y'all. Let me tell y'all what Shannon needs.
Let me
tell you what my baby needs. He need him an old fat gal who can bake good cakes, make some smothered turkey wings, who gonna rub his feet at the nighttime, okay, and gonna have a sip of his cognac to make him feel better about himself when he come home at night. That's what Shannon needs. You don't need no 26-year-old, no 36-year-old girl. This is your auntie talking to you. Take your old ass and get you an old bitch out there that can love you old. You trying to hang out with these young bitches and you can't do it, Shannon. You just can't do it. Damn. When they want you to go for the 4th round, you looking at her like, bitch, listen, you want some money to go to Starbucks?
Yeah,
because I can't go no further. But if you get your older girl, when you get to that 4th round, she's going to say, hold on. Let me go get you some eggs and cheese and some toast with apple butter, because that's going to get your energy back up. I'm talking right to you. Shit. So
all right. So in this situation, Monique warned Shannon Sharpe, right? Not only Monique warned Shannon Sharpe, Cat Williams warned Shannon Sharpe, right? That you need to date women age appropriate. But this is the thing. When you have money, when you have power, you understand, you think that you can just get and have anything that you want. You understand? Like a lot of these entertainers, you understand, they don't take the time to try and get to know someone and date someone. They'll scroll on Instagram and be like, oh yeah, I gotta have that. I gotta have that. You understand? And their lust will consume them. You understand? To the point to where they become obsessed. And then that obsession turns them into a subject. Now, we all heard the nasty or read the nasty text messages and heard the voice memos. You understand, that was sent on this side, brother. That was sent between Shannon and this 26-year-old white woman that is a OnlyFans model. You understand? And I use that term model very loosely. You understand? Because if anybody knows what's going on OnlyFans, it ain't modeling. You understand? So he logged on OnlyFans and he was scrolling and he saw something that was deviantly appropriate for the type of sexual deviancy that he's into. You understand? And his lust, that he became obsessed. You understand? To the point to where he was like, I gotta have it. You understand? And you know what he did? He reached out to her. You understand? And you know what that reaching out is? It's just like in the movie Sinners. You gotta invite the demon inside for it to have torment completely in your life. You understand? And that 26-year-old woman destroyed Shannon Sharpe's career. In one fell swoop of a pen, she got him for $23 million. Really, Shannon Sharpe is really actually out of $100 million. You know what I'm saying? She got him. She sued. She got a lawsuit. She got $23 million out. Now, Shannon Sharpe's football career, he only made $22 million in total his entire football career. You understand? She slept with him and retired from OnlyFans and made more money than Shannon Sharpe his entire football career because of his obsession of his lust and not being able to control his loins. And it's not the first situation. Remember that live that he accidentally went live and he was getting real deviant, real inappropriate with a sister on live. I mean, it was just the audio because the phone was face down. You understand? But this is a pattern. You understand? And if you don't check your flesh, you will be destroyed. You understand? So now Shannon Sharpe is out of 23 million, right? He lost his $50 million contract with ESPN. He had a $50 million contract. I think what it was like over like what 10 or 15 years. You know what I'm saying? So he's basically out almost $100 million. You understand? Behind his subjugation to his obsession. It always ties back to one of the quote unquote 7 deadly sins. Right? Okay. So the next one we gonna do. All right. Okay. So remember, in the precept that he pulled in 2 Timothy chapter 4, verse 1, right? You cannot take heed to seducing spirits, right? So the next one we're gonna go to, does anybody know who Anton LaVey is? Since you know who Anton LaVey is? Nephew, you know who Anton LaVey is? All right. Anton LaVey is the person that wrote the Satanic Bible. You understand? He was seduced by Satan. You know what I'm saying? He started the Satanic Church. You know what I'm saying? He's the reason why they got Baphomet statues in New York and Chicago, and that Satanism is an organized religion now, right? You know what I'm saying? He was persuaded by seducing spirits following after the likes of Aleister Crowley, right? So let's find out what Anton LaVey had to say on his deathbed. All right. Let me see. Let me find it. There we go. Boom. Share. All right. Make this big.
He was on his deathbed, and for a Satanist at the time of death, it's a great victory for them because death is a huge thing that they celebrate. And he was getting ready to die and pass on his powers and that. And on his deathbed, he must have got some revelation or an angelic appearance or something. And he went into shock and he said, "Oh my. Oh my, what have I done?" He said, "There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong. There's something very wrong." Wow. And his whole life had been spent propagating these satanic beliefs, getting everyone to believe, establishing official organizations for Satanism. And then at the end of his life, he gets this light that comes to him. And everything that he built, he realized was wrong.
A few months ago, I shared something from Monsignor Stephen Rossetti.
All right. So in this situation, right, it's literally what we was talking about, right? So I'm going to give you 2 examples of what it talks about giving way to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, right? Now, this is on the extreme side of the spectrum. Right? This is Satanism. You know, you hear Satanism, everybody like, nah, I ain't fooling with Satan. But you know who you do fool with? You fool with Islam. You know who you do fool with? You fool with Santeria. You fool with Ifa, which I'm gonna pull up another one right here. You know what I'm saying? You fool with Buddhism, Hinduism, Voodoo. You know what I'm saying? So all of these things are seducing spirits, you understand, that will cause you to be subject unto them. And let me break something down to y'all for some of y'all, because you know I know it's some people that's online, you dibble and dabble in witchcraft. You know what I'm saying? You dibble and dabble, because you curious about the occult and all of this. I'm gonna tell you from somebody that came out of that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? I used to do the whole transcendental meditation. I was all in the Kemet and all of this stuff. You know what I'm saying? I was on way to be initiated, to be a Babalao. You know what I'm saying? In following the Santeria pantheon. You understand? So let me break something down to you. In order to get from spirit, you got to give to spirit. Nothing is free in the spiritual world, right? Even with the Most High in Christ, right? What in following the Most High in Christ, what do you have to sacrifice? Somebody blow my mind. Raise your hand. Somebody blow. What do you have to give up? Get the other mic. Go ahead, Lacon.
Like you, sir, is time.
Okay, that's one, but that ain't what I'm looking for. What you got, sis? Say it on the mic.
Everything.
When you say everything, what do you mean?
Like your life, you gotta give up yourself. You gotta give up everything that you believe in. Gotta give up everything. You gotta give up your selfishness. You gotta give up wanting to follow whatever you want to follow and follow the Most High. Follow His laws, statutes, and commandments.
It's a good answer. What you got, nephew? Nephew, what you gonna say?
I was gonna say your whole life.
You got to do what?
Give your whole life.
Right on what Sis said. You have to literally unalive yourself. I can't say what I want to say. You have to literally unalive yourself for the Most High in Christ, right? It's what biblically is called the first death. You have to physically make yourself a physical sacrifice to get anything from the Most High in Christ. You understand? And he has laws and rules that you have to follow. All of these spirits, you understand, that you interested in, they have laws and rules that you have to follow. They have days that you have to follow. You understand? The reason why I'm doing this series is to pull the wool off of your eyes. Like this ain't a game. This is real, right? And when you play the harlot with the Most High God, what is the wage of sin? Death. Because regardless of how you feel or not, you have to die. So either you can choose the first death to willingly sacrifice your life and follow the Lord, or you can live your life how you want to, and then the Lord just take you up out of here. But either way, you gonna die. It's non-negotiable. You understand? So these contracts that you making with these spirits, you understand? What you don't realize is that thing that you signed on the dotted line, it's your life. Because you want a life and live it how you see fit, instead of walking and living a life how the Lord sees fit, right? So in this case, with Anton LaVey, which is an extreme example, the person that started Satanism, the Church of Satan, there's a book that we have here in the school. It's called the Satanic Bible. We have that just to show Christians the things that they do is in line with Satanism, like keeping birthdays, following all pagan holidays. Because what you don't realize is Satan don't care how he gets you, as long as he gets you. He doesn't care if you're saying you're not calling it Easter, you're calling it Resurrection Day, but you're letting your kids go out here and go on the Easter egg hunt. You understand? The things that the process with the cakes and the breads that you make, the sweets, you understand, for Easter Sunday, You know what I'm saying? The feast that you do. He don't care that you taking grandma out, you know what I'm saying, to eat on Easter Sunday or your mama. You understand? This is all the ishtar. Satan don't care how he gets you. You know what I'm saying? He don't care if you call it Christ Mass. You know what I'm saying? It's still Christmas. You know what I'm saying? He don't care if you saying it, you celebrating the birth of sweet baby Jesus. There's nowhere in the Bible where it tells you to celebrate the birth of Christ. There's no feast day in the Bible for the birth of Christ. You understand? In the Bible, in Jeremiah chapter 10, it explicitly tells you not to celebrate Christmas. Explicitly. Like this is something that is old. This is a old spiritual paganism practice that you are yoking yourself to. Go ahead, sis.
Like I said, on microwave, because I'm trying to figure out why they celebrate it, and then they go even further by having somebody walk down the aisle as if they were Jesus with a cross on their back.
Right. Look, I had to do a class today with my mother. My mother's having a knee replacement surgery. So they teach you, what you got to do pre-surgery, post-surgery, how to tend to the person, stuff like that. So I'm walking in to the hospital, brother. They got this huge erected bronze statue that's like 10 feet tall of white Jesus. You know what I'm saying? With his hand on a woman that's kneeling like he healing her. It's supposed to be Mary Magdalene. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing is that this nation is so destroyed through delusions of grandeur because everything that they quote unquote represent as righteousness is a lie. Christianity is supposed to represent righteousness, but you got our king hanging on a cross. You think that's gonna make him happy when he come back on a cloud? And he pull up to your sanctuary, and first and foremost, you got a white man on the cross saying it's him, and he a brother. You know what I'm saying? And then you got the symbol of his death on your church saying that you serving him. If I unalive your mama with an AK-47 and your mama was famous and now everybody in the hood wearing AK-47 chains with your mama name in it, would that make you happy? Hell no, that's disrespectful as hell. That's what these crosses represent, right? So when you are invoking on these other spirits, it comes with a price. That's why it says, do not take heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils, right? So I'm going to give you another example. So I showed you Anton LaVey, which like on the extreme side, right, which is Satanism. So now we're going to go to the voodoo side, right? Let's go to the voodoo side, right? Something that you end up becoming subjugated to. Let's see. This one. Yeah, here you go, right here. Bam.
She decided to try to summon Papa Legba. And then she made a post on Facebook that said, I saw Papa Legba today. I'm scared. And I'm just like, you call yourself a Wiccan voodoo girl and now you're scared because you see a deity that's a part of voodoo that you so-called practice? Don't get scared now after you tried to summon him. But continuing the story, many people believe that this was true, that she saw Papa Legbot and she did get scared, because 2 days later, Kate was found dead in her mother's home, face down in her bathtub. Now, many people believe it was Papa Legbot that killed her, and others believe that it was Baron Samadi. I believe this whole belief came from someone who said that they did a reading and the spirit told them it wasn't Papa Legbot, it was him, Baron Samadi. Now, when it comes to people doing readings on situations that have nothing to do with them, they don't have access to that person to get.
Now, all right. So in this situation, first and foremost, it's someone that is not of this culture of people, right? It was an Edomite, right? Because and this is another thing, right? So be careful of all of these groups that you get into on Facebook, right? On social media, on Discord, right? On Slack, right? All of these rooms that you join, you know, your friend be like, man, I'm in this crazy room, man. You should, it's entertaining. You should hop in there, right? Your curiosity is going to expose you to something that you don't have no business doing. This woman was in one of those groups that's filled with witches, warlocks, and wizards, right? People that are all on the occult path, people that follow Santeria, people that follow Ifa, people that follow voodoo, right? So, and just like to become, what do you have to do to become a priest and prophet of the Most High God? What do you have to do? Anybody? Go ahead. You gotta hold it. There you go.
Salaki.
There you go. Give him your mic, nephew. I think that's the one that got the short end.
Salaki, sir. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you must become as a child.
Okay, that's philosophical. What do you physically have to do in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge to become a priest and prophet of the Lord?
If I may, wear all black for your 90 days and come to class and learn from the men above.
Okay, what is it? Okay, what's a practical word for that? Give me one word that means that. You have to be what? You want to try, nephew? You the process that you said is 100% correct, right? But it's called something. What is it called? Go ahead.
Test it.
Huh?
Test it. I know you gotta take an off.
Test it. That's close. It starts with an I.
Initiated.
You have to be initiated, right? In order to be a priest for whatever spirit, whether you actually serving the Most High God or you serving a wicked, unholy, unreal God, you understand? You have to be initiated. You understand? And this person was not initiated, right? And remember, I told you, either way, you gotta what? You gotta die. You understand? Either you willingly sacrifice your life in living, which is called the first death, or you make a contract with one of these other spirits. Now, it don't gotta be, so formal as if she tried to do, doing a summoning spell, right? You can contract yourself with alcohol. You can contract yourself with the spirit of crack cocaine, methamphetamines, opioids. You understand? You can make a contract with yourself, the common contract in the black community, with Mary Jane. You understand? You can make a contract with the spirit of lust and lasciviousness. You know what I'm saying? He start off with something small is porn, right? Now it ain't just watching it, you gotta experience it. You know what I'm saying? To where you become a deviant and okay, well, I don't got a girlfriend right now, so I'm gonna go to the strip club. I'm gonna pay for the champagne room. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm tired of paying for it. You know what I'm saying? I want something for myself. Then you make your way to Bissonnette on the host road. Now you paying for hookers. You know what I'm saying? Now you tired of paying for hookers. You just want it. You know what I'm saying? So now you become a predator and you go out here and take it. You understand? Now what ends up happening is one or two things happen, right? Either you become unalived by a curse of STDs from your deviant lifestyle and behavior and riotous living that you're living, or you become unalived from that sister's family members that you tried to grape, right? Or you get that jacket and you go to jail and then go to prison and then you get unalived in there. Because either way, you die. Because the wages of sin is what? Death. Right? This is what happens when you become subjugated to your obsession. And it all started because of your curiosity. You understand? Just because, you know, this new spot is bumping, you might not want to be the first person to check it out. You know what I'm saying? You know, you might want to do some recon on it. You know, look at it on the map, see what side of town it's on. Look at the community that surrounds it. You know, let 3-6 months go by. Look at the reviews. You know what I'm saying? See if anything pops up about it in the news. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't always want to be first to experience something. Because just like when they do a new rollout, when they update your phone, you don't always want to get the update immediately because what? It has what? Bugs. It has things that it needs to work out. It has kinks in the system. You understand? And those kinks spiritually are called snares, traps, pit holes, and pitfalls. The whole purpose is to get you to fall. And you have to pay attention. And the only way that you're going to pay attention is like what it says in Psalms 1. You have to meditate in the scriptures day in and day and night. You understand? So you'll be like a tree planted by the rivers of the waters when you bring forth your fruit in your due season. I tell people all the time that scripture is very important. It doesn't say that your life is going to change immediately when you give your life to the Lord. Really, if you actually ask anybody in the truth, really, when you first come in the truth, it feels like you're dying. Literally. You understand? Because you feel like you have to give up everything that's fun. You can't be a drunk no more. You can't be a whore no more. You can't be a whoremonger no more. You can't be a drug addict no more. Everything that made life fun when you was going out, you know what I'm saying? You can't be a brawler. You know what I'm saying? You can't be the number one out there getting hats. You know what I'm saying? You can't be a thief. You know what I'm saying? You can't be scamming. Everything that quote unquote supposedly makes life fun is really evil. You understand? That's why the scripture says that the heart of man is evil. It is wicked. Because everything that you desire comes from a selfish nature. You understand? And it has to do with satisfying your flesh. When you talk about getting money, the first thing that pops in your mind, the reason for you getting money, it's not to help other people. It's to help yourself. That should let you know if the motive for you doing something, if it's not to help others, 9 times out of 10, it ain't a righteous thought. I'm just going to keep it real. You understand? Because most of y'all just want money so y'all can stun on people. So you can say, I'm the man or I'm the woman. I'm that nigga or I'm that B. You understand? You want a high side on your brother. You want a high side on your sister. You want to be able to say, I got it. You don't. Look at me over here. You over there. I'm in VIP. You in general population. You know what I'm saying? You want to be like, it's different over here where I'm at. You know You know what I'm saying? See right here, this Louis. You know what I'm saying? This fall 2025. It ain't even out yet. You understand? This is what they're going to be doing in Milan and Paris for Fashion Week. They just sent it to me as a sample to see, you know, if I like it or not. You can't even get this in the stores. You understand? You do that to stunt on your people because in actuality, you don't love your brother. You don't love your sister. You hate your brother. You hate your sister. Because if you really did and you were in a spirit of the Lord, in the righteous spirit of brotherhood and sisterhood, you will want your brother and sister to have everything that you have. You want to know why? Because if they do, guess what? There's no crime. You understand? You want to know why there's crime in our community? It's because there's poverty. You understand? Like that's why the slab parade is such a huge thing in the city. Because for a brother, and nowadays sisters, because sisters have slabs too now, you know what I'm saying? To have a nice car, you understand, that looked like a spaceship, you understand, it's a big deal. And it causes envy in the community. You should get like me. Then the next thing comes, well, how do I get like you? Then they find out, well, shoot, you slang. Or they find out you pimp. They find out you scam. Because you don't got that slab. Most of them don't have that. Some brothers, you know, they work really hard to build a slab, but a lot of them, they don't have it through righteous means. Am I lying? Hell no. So you have to constantly do a mental check of the spirit that you're in and the spirit that you're operating in, right? Okay. I got it. Let's see. What's the next example that I got? Okay. All right. Let me go to this one right here. All right. So this one, I couldn't find the video on YouTube, but I found it on Facebook. Right. So a brother tries to rob. So remember, all of this comes from curiosity, seducing spirits, right? So remember, I was talking about crime comes from poverty, right? So in this situation, you're going to see a brother chilling on the block with his partners. He's shining. You know what I'm saying? You're going to see some people case the block, come back, try and rob him. And because of his lust, you know what I'm saying, for something that doesn't belong to him, his envy, his jealousy, it ended up getting him stomped out by the whole hood. All right, let me pull this up. Go to share. Make this full screen. Pull this back.
All right, so keep right dude right here in the white shirt. The dude right here in the white shirt, he trying to rob the dude in the black shirt. The dude in the red, he got a gun on everybody. Right, so now this guy's suspect with a gun. And his own boy, he's scared, so he run out. He leaves him by himself. He finds the other girl. They about to get into the beauty of his life. That's good. It ain't over. They just gonna start filling up. That's good.
Say it one more time. Oh, they say, oh, my bad. Hold on. There you go. All right, I'm gonna run it back. I'm gonna run it back so y'all can see it. Hold on, I'm gonna run it back.
All right, so look, so the dude in white and dude in red, they come and rob this dude right here in the black church. He's fine. He got all these children. So while the dude in white is robbing, the dude in red, this is the thing that everybody in the fight. He feeling good. They start praying. He's gonna keep standing there. He's gonna run it. He's gonna take that.
Yeah, I'm in front of this right now. You can receive the consent.
One button is hit on the it's free. It's free. It's full. They're stomping them out. They 6. They 7, 8. The whole community is coming out. And you can see the beauty of the people what kind of car to put this. Oh, it ain't over. You got to have people pull up and beat up.
Take it. That's my mom.
You got people running up on the ground. Look, the homeboy in the red trying to come around.
Pero que él también se pasó. He deserved that. Oh my God. Oh, he's still in the floor. Oh my goodness. Mamma mia. Wow. It's moving. What? Take it. Take it. Oh my goodness. Yeah, easy.
Now look at that. Now old buddy, he over there, he laying, I mean, he nigh unto death. You understand? But this is what I'm talking about. You understand? Whatever spirit that you yoke yourself to that ain't the Most High God, it's a requirement. And it's your life. If you not going to sacrifice your life willingly, you know what I'm saying? Which is the first death, to kill yourself willingly to serve the Lord, whatever spirit you choose to serve will cost you your life. You understand? Now, because of that brother's lust and desire, because of envy, you understand? Because remember, it all goes back to one of those 7 deadly sins. Remember, envy, gluttony, wrath, lust, laziness. You know what I'm saying? It's one more I missed, 2 more I'm missing, right? But every single thing that breaks the law, statutes, commandments goes back to one of these spirits. And the spirit that he yoked himself to was called envy. You understand? And because of his envy, he didn't want to work hard, you know what I'm saying, to get something to be proud of to put around his neck. No, he wanted to take it from somebody that worked hard for it. I mean, I don't know how that brother got his chain. I'm just going to assume he worked hard for it. But however he did it, he bought it outright. It was his. You know what I'm saying? And the dude tried to take it from him. You know what I'm saying? He thought because he had a gun that was the end all be all. But the block ended up serving street justice that day. You understand? And he was given the beating of his life. He was out there hitting him with bats, boards, stomping them out, and nobody was having mercy. See, it's the thing. When the Lord exacts his judgment, ain't nobody to tell the Lord to chill out, bro. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord come with his judgment, it's like, you know how your parents can say, leave him alone. He didn't have enough. No, it wasn't no enough out there. The whole block showed out, and everybody was getting their turn to bludgeon him. And they left his body limp in the street. You know what I'm saying? He still had his life, you know what I'm saying? But the boy looked lifeless at the end of it. You understand? Like he was on the ground doing one of these numbers, having a seizure. You know what I'm saying? Because he got CTE from getting Lil John and East Side boys, you know what I'm saying, Esau stomping on his head. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, the wages of sin is what? You can't control what somebody's reaction is going to be. You know what I'm saying? You calling yourself trying to follow the Lord, but you still trying to have one foot in the streets. You rolling with your partner that's 100% about that life, living them rules. You understand? You don't have no control with the retaliation of what your partner been doing out in the streets, and you've been riding with them. They come and Swiss cheese the car with the Draco, and you in there. Hey, you wasn't supposed to be there. You stepping in the way of the Lord's judgment. The Lord has a date and a time. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Lord will show you mercy, but you gonna get hit. You may survive. You know, you might have to have one of them what we call the shit bag. You know what I'm saying? The colostomy bag for the rest of your life. You know what I'm saying? But the Lord spared your life, but you wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying? What they say in Pay the Fool? Niggas die every day, B. Niggas die every day, B. You know what I'm saying? The Lord is exacting judgment every day. You wouldn't know it because you're in the truth. You're not living that life. You're not, as the scriptures say in Psalms 1, you're not in the way of sinners. So if you're not in the way of sinners, the only way you're going to hear about it is on social media or on the news. But you can find out firsthand. You know what I'm saying? Trying to play both sides of the fence, trying to straddle the fence. The scriptures say you can't be lukewarm. You either got to be hot or you got to be cold. You know what I'm saying? If you lukewarm, don't nobody like no warm food. You know what I'm saying? They bite it and they spit it out. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, put that in the microwave, bro. Don't nobody want no lukewarm food. I want my food hot. You know what I'm saying? I want it to be hot and nourishing, not warm and nourishing. You know what I'm saying? That's nasty. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody want to eat no cold eggs. You know what I'm saying? Or no lukewarm eggs, man. I want my eggs piping. I want to see the steam coming off that thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't want no eggs that's been sitting under a heat lamp. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's get some more examples. Let's see. What's the next one I got? Okay, yeah. This next one. Let's see. This the one. This one. Oh no, I gotta here you go. Copy and paste it. Control C. All right. So this next one, you understand, is a brother. Lucia Canella over. This brother, he's going to unfortunately forfeit his life due to pride. You understand? All right, so let's watch this example.
come with emotion late Wednesday after she says her 37-year-old son was stabbed to death outside this Gowanus smoke shop. A deadly encounter that a witness says began after the victim held the door open for his alleged attacker, but never got a thank you. The suspect responding with, "I never asked you to open it."
He do something nice for you. You can...
Hold on. It said he lost his, before I play the whole thing, it said he lost his life for what? Yeah, he lost his life because he held the door open and the dude didn't say thank you. Yeah, let's see how this plays out. Let's see how this plays out.
Say at least thank you. That's the only he asked. Say thank you. He didn't say nothing more, but it's coming a fight. And he lost. Now I don't have my only son.
Surveillance video from inside the store shows the wild brawl. That's the victim in white, identified by friends and family as Jay Nunez. He and the suspect exchange blows, even continue fighting outside. We're pausing the video the moment he's stabbed.
Yeah, it's like you only see that in movies. It felt like he got disrespected by the guy not saying thank you to him. If we would have said thank you, would have been, none of that would have happened.
After the attack, the suspect can be seen leaving on a bike as Nunez, now covered in blood, stumbles back to the store.
The last words he was saying, I got stabbed. Oh, he stabbed me. He stabbed me.
All right. So let me ask y'all a question. Does anybody owe you a thank you? Does anybody have to tell you thank you? Does anybody have to say anything to you? You know what I'm saying? Now, one of the spirits of the 7 deadly sins is pride. The scripture, matter of fact, give me Lacon, give me that scripture. Give me I got you. Give me Proverbs 16 and 18. Give me Proverbs 16 and 18. You understand? Like, it is foolish for you to forfeit your life because of your ego. You got it? Go ahead.
The book of Proverbs, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 16, verse 18. Pride goeth before destruction.
Say that one more time.
Pride goeth before destruction.
Say that one more time.
Pride goeth before destruction.
This brother was destroyed because of his pride of somebody not saying thank you. You know how else you lose your life? Somebody stepping on your shoes in the club and not saying excuse me. Somebody accidentally spilling a drink on you in the club because it's wall-to-wall people. Like this person just was walking through and just like, yeah, drink. You know what I'm saying? Your pride will get you unalived every single time. You understand? Now, I'm gonna take this somewhere else. Sisters, you understand? When you out and about, you understand? You got to understand you're a woman. You know, if a man disrespects you out in public, leave. Because one thing that a man is not going to tolerate is being disrespected. You know what I'm saying? So if you accidentally bump into a dude and he be like, Salakia, forgive my French, bitch, watch where you going. What's the first thing sister gonna say? Who you calling her? And then she gonna bop, 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 bop. She gonna go off at the mouth. And a man is only gonna be so many HAs, BAs, it's two types of BAs. It's the BITCHA and the broke A. You know what I'm saying? A man is only going to take so much demeaning from a woman before he do what? Blow my mind. I technically just kind of gave it away.
Like you, sir.
Go ahead.
he gonna hit her.
He gonna go upside her head. You understand? And he went upside of your head because of your what? No. Because of your what? Because of your pride. You know what I'm saying? Your pride gonna get your head knocked off. Your pride gonna have you woken up with your lip bust. Your pride gonna have you woken up with a black eye because you don't know when to shut up. You gonna put your life and your homegirls' lives in danger. Or better yet, you put your man's life in danger. You'll go off on the dude because you know your man can fight. You know your man a shooter. You know what I'm saying? You know your man to get down. You know what I'm saying? Once a man puts his hands on you, you've immediately put your significant other's life in danger. Because when he pull up, it ain't no talking. The talking took place between you and him. Because you couldn't shut up. Now, he didn't put his hands on you. Now, the people that's showing up on your behalf, whether it's your brother, your cousins, your man, it's up. It's up here. They don't have the option to start here and to figure out what's going on. It's automatically up and it's stuck. And somebody either going to the hospital, jail, or hell. That's how that night's going to end up. Somebody's either going to the hospital, jail, or hell. That's how that night's going to end. The demon's whole job is to take a life. It don't care how it do it. Whether the person gets concussed, gets put in a coma, in the hospital and go to jail, get shanked up and go, or that person go right then and there from the melee that then popped off. And then sisters, let me put something else out there. You popping off at these dudes. I mean, I don't know where everybody else stay. We live in Texas. Does anybody know what's special about Texas? Texas is open and free concealed carry. So you don't know what somebody got that you talking to. They can have a sword on them because you can walk around with a sword now. A blade can be longer than 6 inches. People can literally walk around Houston with katanas. You know what I'm saying? They can have brass knuckles. They can have a blade. They can have a rifle. They can have a sidearm. You need to automatically assume at all times when you out, the people that you dealing with, if they ain't been patted down, and 9 times out of clean, I mean, you go to the club, they don't do a good enough job for me anyway, because sometimes I be getting in with my stuff. You know what I'm saying? You need to automatically assume they got it on them. So you need to be mindful of your words. If you not ready to put your life on the line, go home. Go ahead, sis. Give her the mic. Say it on the mic.
Not even do nothing right then. They might wait till they see you next time.
Oh, well, they're not even gonna do that. They'll let you make it, follow you home. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll put an Apple tag on your car, track you to where you live. Because you got to understand, it's real technological with stalking and praying now, bro. You know what I'm saying? People put locators on your cars. You know, real talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll get you. They'll watch you for a week. Watch everything that you do, what you into, and they'll come for everything. They'll see if you live alone, if you by yourself, if you was just wolfing at the club, if you really got a man that you live with. You know what I'm saying? And then one day you'll come to your car and it'd be a random tag on your car. or a random dollar bill or note on your windshield wiper and you touch it and it got something on it, and all of a sudden you're feeling woozy. All of a sudden the room starts spinning and you black out, and then you wake up in the back of a truck. You wake up in the back of a cell. You wake up in a shipping container. Now you've been trafficked. All because you can't control your mouth. You have to keep the demons in check. That is the reason why I've done this entire series of demonic possession. So A, you're able to recognize when somebody is possessed by a demon. B, you know the different types of demons. And then C, you can recognize when one is trying to creep up inside of you. Oh, and then D, you know how to fight it. The number one way is shut the hell up. Because it all starts from here. The scripture says that life and death is in what? The tongue. It's the smallest muscle on the body, but can cause the most damage. It can create or destroy. And a lot of y'all use it to destroy and not create. Because you're riddled with demons. Right? Okay? Let me give you what? I'll give you 3 more before we get up out of here. All right, let's find out another obsession that unfortunately got someone unalived. Right? Let's do this one right here. All right. You know, this for you brothers that don't know how to leave these sisters alone. You know what I'm saying? You think once yours, always yours. You know what I'm saying? Or just because that's your baby mama, you can do a disagreement. You can do or say whatever. You know what I'm saying? She get a new dude on you. You know what I'm saying? You like that dude don't mean nothing. That's my baby mama, my child over there. That's my house. You know what I'm saying? He living up in my house. Well, there's another situation of pride getting you utterly destroyed.
Over child custody arrangements has ended in death. The argument escalated and a father was shot. The man who pulled the trigger says it was self-defense. We should warn you, the video is disturbing.
It's an argument that is about to lead to one man's death.
Where's my son?
54-year-old Chad Reed is picking up his son from his ex-wife's house. Christina Reed and her new boyfriend are telling him to leave. Then the boyfriend goes inside the house in Lubbock, Texas. The argument between the exes heats up.
I'll go get him. I'm supposed to have him at 3:15. I get him at 3:15. If you want to see him, you see him up until 3:15.
Suddenly, the boyfriend comes out. He's got a rifle.
Do it right now. Use it.
The two men go chest to chest. They struggle for the weapon. Kyle Carruth fires into the ground.
Call 911.
Then he turns and fires 2 more shots.
Oh my God! I have it on video, Kyle. Told you. I told all of y'all to leave.
The dead man's widow just released the video. She told GMA that she never could have imagined she would be recording her own husband's death.
I thought it was like a stun gun or a taser gun or something. Like, who's going to bring out? They're having a discussion about a custody thing.
The shooting is reminding many of the Kyle Rittenhouse case. He claimed self-defense and was acquitted. The legal analyst Royal Oaks to look at the video.
When you're going nose to nose, chest to chest with somebody who's so much bigger than you, he literally swings you around 360 degrees, then he grabs your gun, I would take that self-defense case to a jury 7 days a week.
Carruth has not...
You heard what that lawyer said? That lawyer said, I will take that self-defense case 7 days a week. That means that the boyfriend is going to get off. You understand? Because of your what? Your pride. That's a serious demon. That pride, because this is my ex-wife, that's in my old house with my son and got her new boyfriend living in my house that I paid for, you understand, gonna tell me when I can and can't come see my son? Brother, you don't live here no more. You're trespassing. You understand? And in the moment that you touch me, that's assault. I have the right to defend myself. You understand? You're on my property. I bring out my firearm. You know what I'm saying? Now, he did brandish a weapon, but the moment that you go for the gun, I have a right to defend myself. Now, you'll never see your son again. Because you are emotionally compromised. You don't know how to control your mouth. See, it go both ways. It ain't just on women. It's on men too. The old saying is, don't write a check that your what can't cash. Don't write a check that your behind can't cash. You understand? He told that dude, you pull it, you better use it. And guess what he did? He used it. You understand? That's why you have to analyze the threat. The moment somebody pulls out a firearm, if you're not armed and you don't have it out, you out of there. You either get out of there or you about to be out of there. Bottom line, right? So this is obsession that turned into subjugation. You're so obsessed with your ex-wife. Now, people be like, well, I mean, the brother, he don't like his ex-wife. You know, that's a form, hate is a form of obsession. You know that, right? You hate somebody so much, you love hating them. Every time you see the person, I hate you. I can't stand you. You get on my MFing nerves. You understand? To the point where every time you see the person, y'all arguing. You love arguing. That is the obsession, to the point to where you become subjugated to it. To now, the only way that you feel love from this person is what? Arguing. Because that's the only attention that you can get. So that's what you're going to settle for. And when you don't get it, you're going to act out even more. And unfortunately, that's what happened with this brother. He hated his ex-wife so much. You understand? He wanted to act out and show that he was the man so much. I'm the daddy. I'm the father. You can't tell me what to do with my son. Go get my son, or I'm going to go in the house and go get my son. It's a man there, bro. He lived there. So you telling me, let me just ask you, look, if you end up marrying a sister that got a kid, right? You know what I'm saying? Y'all live together. She get into it with her baby daddy. It don't got nothing to do with you. And he's saying that he about to run up in your house and he gonna take something. What you gonna do? You won't make it through the door. That's breaking and entering. You're telling me you're going to force your way into my house and you're going to forcibly remove something? That's burglary, all right? So not only did you lose if you didn't lose your life, you got shot, and you're going to get charged with assault, breaking and entering, and probably armed robbery. You know what I'm saying? All because you couldn't control your emotions. All right? Let's see. I'm going to see if I can get one more in here. Oh, yeah. So this another, this the one right here. This the last one I'm going to do. In this situation, a family member or a friend of the family couldn't control their passion, their desire, their obsession, you understand, being around kids, and unfortunately, something bad happened to them.
We showed you the amazing picture.
Let's see. Let me go ahead and share.
We showed you the amazing picture last week, a suspected child molester after a run-in with the dad. Tonight, Kelly Joyce talks with that Florida father about what he says he saw and how he reacted.
This was the scene last Friday. 18-year-old Raymond Frolander standing before a judge charged with sexual battery, his face swollen and bruised. Daytona Beach police say Frolander was beaten by the father of the victim.
I attacked him viciously, and I didn't stop. The only time I paused was to go to the kitchen and retrieve a butcher knife, because I was going to kill him.
This 35-year-old father, Jason, says he walked in on Frolander, a family friend, attacking his son. Jason told police he went out for a bite to eat, and when he came back, he heard something in the bedroom.
Found my son Raymond in the room.
He called 911.
I just walked in and found a grown man molesting, and I got him in a bloody puddle for you right now, officer.
When Daytona Beach police showed up, they found Frolander unconscious. He was taken to the hospital, then to jail. Police say Jason won't face any charges for the beating because he was protecting his child as a crime was being committed. Police also say Frolander admitted to the sexual battery. Normally, we would not show the face of a father whose son had been sexually attacked, but this father wanted to show his face and let you know he thinks his son is a hero.
Because I was going to kill him. My son stepped in front of me and saved his life. He just looked at me and said, "Sir," and he shook his head and just, "No." And I just put the knife down. I just wouldn't traumatize him any more than he already was.
Jason says his family is trying to heal, but he felt he needed to talk publicly about this case to let all victims of sex crimes know they do not need to be afraid to come forward.
Everybody wants to do the, not my family, or they got to wait till it hits close to home and all that. 9 out of 10 of these are an uncle, a brother, something.
Jason tells us his son is in counseling. He says he's a...
All right. So this is a full out, not only a demonic possession, but a demonic attack from a demonic possession. You understand? To where, and this is how, let me show you what is a byproduct of this. If this did not happen, if that father didn't do what he did and that went unchecked, now that child has been exposed to sexual deviousness. So now I'm going to tell you, this is what they don't talk about. This is what, like in college, this is what I learned in psychology, right? When a victim has been SA'd and they're a victim of rape, right? Whether it's a boy or a girl, right? Two things happen, right? Either they become, actually 3 things happen, right? They become increasingly violent. They become extremely sexually promiscuous, right? Or they themselves start participating in sexual deviant behavior, to where either them once being the prey become the predator, or they start exploring living an alternate lifestyle. And by alternate lifestyle, you know what I mean. The Leviticus, right? This is what vampirism looks like. You understand? In the old movies, to become a vampire, you have to be sired. You have to be turned by a predator. Right? That's what the term is called. It's called being sired. Right? You have to be ruled over and become subjugated. You have to become a mentee to a mentor. Right? That's where that whole term, that relationship comes from, being a mentee and a mentor, that comes from the Greco-Roman society, from philosophers and men of power having boy lovers. And then those boy lovers grow up to be men of power, and what do you think they're going to do? They're going to do to the boys that come after them. They're going to sire them just like they've been sired. This is how generational curses are created. That's why in biblical times, that's why if you got caught doing something like this, you got unalived. Because For one, we can't show that this is acceptable in the community. So you're going to be an example for others in the community that might be battling this spirit. Two, we can't have that spirit dwelling in this community. And like that father said, a lot of these predators, they're your uncles. They're your aunties. They're your cousins. They're your fathers. They're your mothers. And family members know these things about these people, and they just pass it along and don't say nothing. Imagine if when it first happens, we make it to where this person never does this thing ever again. It stops right there. That father said the only reason why he wasn't unalive because his son asked his father. The son who was the prey asked his father to have mercy on him. So that means he was biblical in there with it. But that child is going to feel vindicated because his father came to his defense. Immediately, that child got justice. How many children out here don't get justice? Because of the demons that we let run free in our community. Because you're afraid to sacrifice your life for the Lord. So you let another brother or a sister be unalive because of your cowardice. Remember, I told you, either way, you have to die, but you choose. Either way, you have to forfeit your life. So you're going to forfeit your life in serving the Lord, or you're going to forfeit your life in living your life how you want to, embracing all the spirits in this life. Either way, you have to forfeit your life. It's better you do it willingly. All right. So this is going to conclude the demonic possession series. We're at about a 25-part series. It's been a long road. You know what I'm saying? The next part, we're gonna break down, since we're gonna break down the difference between, in the next class, between Lucifer, Satan, and the devil. So you can know the difference between that. Right? So it's right in line with this. But this concludes the 25-part series on demonic possession. Hope you guys enjoyed. Anybody got any questions before we get up out of here? Go ahead, nephew. Give him the mic so you can hear him. I think you got the one that shorted out. You go ahead, sis.
I have more like a comment, not a question.
You have to speak up. Don't be giving the Barry White voice, man.
I have more of a comment than a question. To comment on the rising amount of pedophilia in the world.
PDF files.
Let's say that. PDF files. I saw a story online of this old child, she was like a kid celebrity kind of. Little Asian girl. She was like, she used to flex money or whatever. People hated her a lot. So now she just recently turned 18 not too long ago. And we've all heard of OnlyFans, right?
Right.
So like 60 or 180 seconds after her 18th birthday, she posted a link, and people flooded the website just to see her.
Say that one more time.
Not even 3 minutes of this girl turning 18, she made over $1 million on OnlyFans.
That is disgusting.
People was waiting for this day, and the moment she turned 18, she made $1 million within 3 hours.
That is utterly disgusting. Utterly disgusting. You understand? Like, that just shows you the spirit that is in this world. You understand? And I don't care if it's in China. I don't give a damn where it is. You understand? That is disgusting. You know what I'm saying? There is nothing that is for a grown man that should be desirable about a child. Because in my eyes, an 18-year-old is still a child. The human brain does not fully develop until you're 25 years old. You understand? If there's a teen behind your name, you're a child. I know the world may consider you as an adult, 18, 19. If it's you're a child. You're not even old enough to drink. Even when you're 21, in my mind, you're still a child because you're immature. You're like, oh, I can drink. Let's see how much I can drink. I'm gonna drink till I can't drink no more. Cops waiting for you to turn 21. That's a demon. You understand? This is a serious demon that we have to combat. Sexual deviancy. And it is pushed in your face every day, all day on TV shows. Hell, on your For You page on social media. You know what I'm saying? You can't scroll on Facebook without seeing ass being thrown in a circle. Whether it's a post from some vixen or hell, just a chick that you know in the world going out for Sunday fun day. Like what a producer that I follow, that I'm a fan of, his boy. Like I had to hit the unfollow button today because he's shooting a video for one of his new songs, and it's literally just now. Hit boy, he's mid-30s now. You know what I'm saying? But all the girls in this video, and I can look at their face and tell their age. Like these young 20s, you know what I'm saying? Like 20, 21, 25. Nothing but young girls in a dress shirt and what's them high skirts, them tennis skirts that all these girls be wearing, that as soon as they bend over, it's the whole world is in her pants. And all of them got thongs on and they just throwing it. And it's all sisters. It's all black, Hispanic women. Like, bro, I was disgusted. I was angry. Like, bro, why do you want to showcase our women like that, bro? Like, this is something that we have to combat as a community. Like, brothers, you got to tell, hey, sis, cover up. Sis, you got to tell your sister, hey, cover up. You hear your partner say, hey, man, we thinking about going to strip club tonight. Nah, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to tell you how we say it in Texas. That's hoe shit, bro. Well, man, I'm trying to go mess with that. Why you want a hoe, bro? Hoes is for everybody. You want something that on your lap that's been for everybody? You want something in your lap that smell like plastic because she been in the champagne room with everybody? And when I say plastic, y'all know what I mean by plastic. Latex. See, I'm hard on the brothers because it's our fault. We turned our sisters to whoredom. If it ain't no brothers in the strip club, guess what? It ain't no strippers. Because they can't make no money. We love whores. So we have to change the requirement. It's to the point now, you go out, you can't tell a good quality woman from a stripper. They all dress the same. You can't tell a real woman from a hoe. They dress the same. I saw one of these street interviews, you understand, where the dude asked a question, to the sister, and she was like, well, why all y'all men come and talk to us women and treat us like hoes? And he was like, well, I'm gonna keep it real with you, sweetheart. You understand? We can't tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? Because it's too many of y'all good quality women, y'all hanging out with hoes. You know what I'm saying? So you standing next to a hoe, what I'm gonna think you are? A hoe. I know she a hoe. Like, I know. You know what I'm saying? Like, brothers, in high school, we all knew which sister was the easy lick. I know she a hoe. And that's your best friend? Oh, you gotta be a hoe. But we gotta change the requirement. It can't, like, brothers, you gotta understand, you gotta be okay with laying down with her. It ain't just her opening up her legs. You gotta have some type of level to you, bro. Some type of requirement. It can't just be anybody that open their legs to you gonna go up in it. You know what I'm saying? What Kendrick Lamar said on the Pimp a Butterfly? This dick ain't free. Salakia. I'm quoting a song, y'all. Quote a song. It shouldn't be. In Israelite schooling requirement, the rod is biblical. It comes with requirement. It's called life. To get this rod, it comes with a life sentence. So don't F with it if you ain't ready for it. That's the mindset that we gotta have, brothers. This woman right here, do you want to lay with this woman and be with this woman for the rest of your life? If you know that you can't get rid of her, you can't throw her away, you know what I'm saying? You can't pretend like you don't know her. You understand? You can't block her. You understand? Oh, that changes things. Well, what her personality like? What her mama like? What type of people she come from? What does she aspire to be? Does she have any goals? Does she have any ambitions? See, then you got to start asking questions. Does she have any terminal illnesses that she's born with? Does she have any diseases? I guarantee you, you're not sharing your my chart with the person you about to lay down with before you lay down with them. And you should. If you courting somebody, before you open your legs or you give her that rod, you need to be asking for that my chart information. You want to see everything. You want them to go get a full checkup. You want to know their blood pressure. You understand? You want a full STD check. You understand? You want to know they lipid levels. You know what I'm saying? You want to know their BMI. You want to know everything. You want to know if they have if they got a history of diabetes in their family, high blood pressure, cancer. You want to know all of this before you lay down with them. Because guess what? They get diabetes, you got to deal with it. You understand? They get hypertension, high blood pressure, you got to deal with it. They get a stroke, you got to deal with it. You understand? They get cancer, you got to deal with it. For life. That's what it means to lay down with somebody. You take on the demons in their life. You become the exorcist for that person, especially if you a man. So with that, get your mind right. You understand? All right, we're going to imagine, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn, face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shabbat, Quadad, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malafaka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawah, Hayah, Bashamaya, Nathanawa, Lacham, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawak Nawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'ai Nawa, Badasai 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'ala, Wahata Parak, La'awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, turn and face the front. We'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers and to the sisters. Men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Majid, Ra, Yahweh Shimi al Shah Bragatah, Yadamatah, Sar, turn and face the sister. Men of Israel, by the Shabbat, Majid, Ra, Yahweh Shimi al Shah, Yadamatah, dismissed. Run this commercial one last time.
And in local news, showing naked ass in the great state of Texas, it's your boy Justice.
And it's your boy Saint.
Despite all the tariffs and the inflation, hell, even famine in certain places, Commanding General YAHANNA has done it again.
The 8th annual South Texas Cookout is coming back to Houston, October 30th to November 2nd. Stay tuned for more details. Hey, and it's free.